In this video, we're going to look at how Venn diagrams and probability equations can be used on this Year 2 statistics question. So I'm going to start by drawing out a Venn diagram. Even though we don't have all the variables, it's going to help us imagine what we need to find for this question. So if we call this A and this B, the probability of A, which is this section and the inside, is 0.3, and the probability of A union B, which is this section, the middle, and this section here, is equal to 0.7. Now, not A intersect not B. What region is that? Well, in one color, if we shade in not A, that's everything that's not in the circle of A, so that's this and the outside. In a different color, if we shade in the section represented by not B, well, that's everything that's not in the circle of B, so that's this section and the outside. Everywhere where you've shaded in twice is where the regions intersect, meaning the outside is where they intersect. Everywhere where you shaded in at least once, so that's this bit, and the outside, that's the union. Here we're interested in the intersection, which is just the outside. Before we establish that everything inside of the Venn diagrams would add up to the union, which is 0.7. In that case, everything on the outside would have to add up to 0.3 in order for everything in the rectangle to add up to 1. That means that not A intersect not B would be equal to 0.3. So not A intersect B, what section is that? Well, not A is given by here and the outside, and B is given by this and the middle. Where they intersect is where I've shaded in twice again, which is the section of only B. So you want to find this region here. Using what we mentioned before, this region, and this region adds up to 0.7, whereas this and this adds up to 0.3. If we take away 0.3 from 0.7, we're left with just this region here, because these cancel out. And that's why 0.7 take away 0.3 will give you the value of 0.4 that you put into here. It then tells you that A and B are independent. Whenever that is the case, that almost always tells you to use the equation that probability of A times probability of B is equal to the probability of A intersect B. There's quite a few different ways you can go about doing this question, but yeah. So probability of A, you can replace that with 0.3 times the probability of B, which we don't yet know. Now, don't make the mistake of just taking 0.4 as the probability of B, because we have to add onto it the middle, which we don't yet know. So I'm just going to leave it in that format, is equal to the probability of A intersect B, which again we don't yet know. So there's two unknowns here. How do we go about doing this? Well, you actually want to form another equation using involving probability of B and A intersect B, so that you can solve them as simultaneous equations. There is another equation that does involve both variables, which is that A union B is equal to A plus B minus their intersection. Let's now substitute values into this equation. So A union B would be 0.7. The probability of A is 0.3. The probability of B is something we don't yet know. And A intersect B is, again, something we don't yet know. What we can do now is replace probability of A intersect B with 0.3 probability of B. So let's just put that directly into this formula. Now, probability of B, take away 0.3 probability of B is 0.7 times the probability of B. And you'll see now that, so 0.3 plus this is equal to 0.7. But yeah, we can now have an expression that we can solve for the probability of B. Once we do have that, we can put it into any one of the equations to find the probability of A intersect B, which we don't need to do for this question actually, we just need the probability of B. So take away 0.3 from both sides, you get 0.4 is equal to 0.7 times the probability of B, divide both sides by 0.7 and you get that the probability of B is equal to 4 over 7. And that's it, that's the final answer to this question. Do be sure to leave a like if the video did help and subscribe, I'd appreciate a lot. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope it helped. If you have any A-level maths or physics tutoring inquiries, be sure to send me a message at www.excelineducation.co.uk.